Viewers, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia. That's me hydrofoiling on a wing, the age 57. You have to have hobbies. You really do have to have hobbies. Shouldn't be an option. If things don't go as planned, well, at least you've got a life. For those that don't have a life, that's their responsibility, not yours. You are called to get out and live, at least. There's a lot of people wasting their lives. They're drugging them down the drains. They're lazy asses, whinging and whining, conceited, backbiters, never happy with anything, never sure of anything, scared of what's going on around them. And don't worry, there's a lot of witches in our communities too that disguise themselves as being kind and all the rest of it, but underneath they hate people, hate and despise people. And these people are everywhere. They're taught usually by the single mums, funnily enough, because they hate men, a lot of them, for what the men have done to them. So somebody's got to get the payback. The tax man has to pay, somebody's got to pay the dues for what the man's done. But you got to have hobbies to fall back on when these people crash around you. And if you do meet people, give yourself a bit of time. A lot of these people will throw you in the cot within an hour or so. I've had about, 12 of these now. But I've woken up in the last 20 years or so, even back at school, but even the adults. There's something wrong in our community today relative to value of self and healthy relationships and lifestyles and decision making and all that stuff. Bad decision making and self-abuse and the victim mentalities, martyr mentality. I think victim martyr is one of the biggest dangers of community today in society and family, because victim martyr can feed itself on problems and on misfortune, and misfortune can go to misfortune rather than misfortune to solution. The victim and the martyr honours themselves on misfortune to misfortune. If there's no drama, there's no hero or heroine. If there's no drama to solve, even if there doesn't need to be one, then there's no award, there's no reward. And that's how these people pride themselves, on their victim mentality. And it's dangerous, it's harmful, it's deconstructive, because it cannot construct. The victim martyr mentality has to construct itself around brokenness and under-resolve. And when you get mixed up with these people, you will be left broken, and if you're not careful, unresolved. And it's a cycle that goes round and round. It's very destructive. Very, very destructive. The victim mentality. And this can be multi-generational. It can be passed on, because it does have a flavour to it. It does have a reward that comes with it. If you can pull it off and be consistent with it, there is a reward that comes with it. And the reward does seem to be worthy worthy to the person that gets it, because it's always there. Some of the greatest people that are held into the esteem are the victim martyrs. And they can make drama out of anything. But you can do micro incremental victim drama solutions. Micro incremental. And these people grandiose themselves and stroke their ego on these small solutions. It's quite amazing how things that really don't exist, they make exist to give them identity, to give them a sense of belonging, give them a sense of justification for the way in which they're not living themselves, but they wish they could be. A lot of these people are envious because they haven't got the lifestyle that you've got. They haven't done the work that you've done. They've taken the easy way out on a daily basis and a regular basis, and this hasn't worked for them. They've ended up with nothing. They've squandered and wasted all their money on menial present tense pleasures. And these people have had a lot of money pass through their hands. Believe it, they're not poor, a lot of these people. But they've allowed their victim martyr mentality to deceive them and to fuel their ever-present lustful desires. And desires, lustful desires that deceive, will consume people's money. It'll take their money. And that's all there is to it. For instance, to be standing on that board with the hydrofoil underneath it and the wing, you're looking at a total of probably nearly $6,000 in equipment. And $6,000 in the world of cannabis and nicotine, cocaine, alcohol doesn't go very far at all. And you never have anything to show for it. You won't have the experiences of the hours and hours of sun shining on the water and the wind and the mountains and the views that you get. You don't get any of that for that. You just don't. You get nothing for that. Just sickness and ill health, loss of identity. Again, plays into the victim martyr mentality too. When these people are in a relationship and they get disregarded, that plays into their victim martyr mentality, and they get accepted back into the fold. Oh, poor pity me. You know, there's never accountability or responsibility. That doesn't happen. That can't happen, because if you're accountable and responsible, you need to be made well. A lot of you people don't realise that the big sign of somebody that lacks accountability and responsibility is issues. Is their issues. Otherwise known as what can be called baggage. And the reason why these issues follow on with people is because they don't know how to resolve. That's what it makes me laugh. Like, somebody splits up with somebody and they've got all these issues that haven't been resolved. And for some strange reason, these people think that the person that's just contributed to the demise of the relationship is going to go on to something better. That's a complete and utter delusion. That is not going to happen. They can't. If somebody's been provided with the whole attributes and characteristics of a relationship that can work, then why do people have this ingenious fantasy that these people are going to go on and do any better? They're probably going to go on and meet someone like themselves and go insane. Or the violence that they tried to make you commit will happen to them. They're going to bring upon them the people that they are in the negative. It's a once in a lifetime for people to meet someone like you that knows how to resolve, exercises, looks after yourself, does the mental work. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of these people. Will never have that opportunity again. and they squandered it in front of the universe. They squandered it. So a lot of you people worry about things that can't change. They won't change because these people will not do the work. They just will not do the necessary work. They just won't do it. This is Reverend Dr. D.W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. Bye for now.
Her right hand, in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness.